What is going on, guys? Joey here with FLEXX Training Systems, and today I wanted to give some advice to those of you competing at nationals, but I suppose most of this information will work for anyone doing any meet. But there are some things here that are specific to a national meet, and I kind of wanted to go over that with you guys. So here we go. First off, obviously, like, the federations have split and we don't know what the future holds. For some of you, this could be your last nationals. So enjoy it, have fun with it, and just try to be present, try to be in the moment, try to really be like, just have fun, it doesn't lead to worlds. It doesn't lead to bigger meets. You don't lose opportunities or anything like that. So you can kind of, do this meet with more of a, like, obviously you want to win. But at the end of the day, it's just it's like a very social, a lot of the community is going to be there. And I think that's going to motivate people more. And in my opinion, it does mean something to win this meet. It does mean something. It's different, and I truly hate that things are fragmented because I don't want to take anything away from this meet. But it is what it is. It happened, and everything's broken up. And I'm very much looking forward to the day. I don't know if it'll ever happen where both of the federations are united, or at least most of us are under one banner. So again, I don't know what's going to happen. If you would have told me in 2018 that we're going to split, 2019 we're going to split, I would have been like, nah, there's no way. I mean, I don't know if I would have said there's no way, but I would be like, oh, that would suck. And it does suck. That being said, here we go. If you're competing at nationals, you want to make sure that you have a good handler, because there's going to be times when you're going to need to, your handler's going to have to make calls. They need to know how things work. They need to pay attention to what, the other lifters are doing sometimes, especially when it comes to the third deadlift. And that's really important. So you want to have a handler that is at least capable of, those types of things, and make sure that you go over what your goals are ahead of time with your handler. I like to ask my lifters, what do you want to accomplish out of this meet? I might say, what do you want to hit? And then if it makes sense, I'll map it out for you. But if it's like crazy, then I'll ask them for different information, and then I'll do it myself. Because at the end of the day, it's your meet. You're the one lifting. I'm just here or your handler's just there to sort of like help you. But you have to understand also that if you're bringing in a handler, you're going to have to trust them. And that means you might have to relinquish control of some things. And you should find a handler that you trust doing that. So that way you can be the athlete and you don't need to stress about, math and numbers and things like that. So you want a good handler. You need to pay attention to gear check. It's very easy to figure this out. You want to go there early, get all your equipment, looked over, make sure everything is good to go. And then that way, all you have to do is, do your rack heights and all that stuff ahead of time. And then when it's time to lift, it's time to lift. And you don't need to really be, stressed out about it. Also, after you make weight, they're going to ask you for your numbers and everything. So you can either tell your coach that, or the lifter can just tell that to the judge. You want to make sure that you're on point with your weight cut, and given that you are cutting, you have to be real with yourself, right? If you're cutting weight and you hit numbers in the gym that were not close to like what your body weight is now, might not be a good idea to keep those numbers. You might want to be a little bit more conservative. You should always be able to hit your opener, and your opener should be, even if you open like much lighter than normal and then take a bigger jump, you have to see where you're going to be at. You have to account for the cut. And that's like so important. Nobody wants to bomb out. So yeah, being honest with yourself, That's a very hard thing for people to do. There's gonna be a lot of emotions at nationals. People are gonna be hyped up. They're gonna want to impress people, or they're just gonna like go out of pocket. I don't know. And it's very difficult in that moment for especially younger, more emotional lifters to say, I'm not gonna lift for clout or anything. I'm gonna humble myself and I'm gonna take the safe number, because I want to have a good meet. I want to have a performance that I could look at in the future and be like, I'm really proud of that one, Trust me, it feels way better being conservative going 9 for 9 than like barely missing a lift and like having that fucking dent in your total, just looking at this hole till the next time you compete. When things go bad in your meet, you want to keep moving. So let's say you get a bad call, something doesn't go your way, whatever it is, you want to make sure that you don't let that take you out of the moment. Like you really want to make sure that you stay present. You want to stay like focused. Move on, move on to the next thing. In football, we say next play, right? Short-term memory. You go in, you do what you do. If there's a problem, then I missed that lift. My coach is going to pick the right number and I'm just going to forget about it. Because if you don't, you let that emotion snowball, it's going to affect it could affect your lifts coming up. Maybe you forget to do something with your nutrition. You don't take pre-workout. You don't eat right. You're really flustered about something. So you just need to keep moving. Like, worry about it at the end of the meet. Right now, focus on what's in front of you. And then at the end of the day, you can go back and say, okay, I could have improved here, whatever. You don't want to change too much on meet day unless you really know what you're doing. Everything in your meet day should be, your food, the numbers that you take, the jumps that you take, the warm-ups that you take. It should be identical to everything that you've done in your preparation because, you warmed up that way. That's how you trained yourself to be for a very long time. So if you don't do that, then you're risking things not lining up and things being different from what you planned. Typically at nationals, you want to prioritize winning over PRs, right? You want to be a little bit more conservative. You want to make your lifts. If you can max out everything and do that on national stage, that's very difficult. And that's where experience comes in. But at the end of the day, you're there to win. And I usually say at nationals is when you want to win, right? So you can get PRs at any random meet or in the gym. If PRs happen on meet day, you might need to do that, but you want to make sure that you're maxing yourself out without going over. So you may need to humble yourself a little bit in order to do that. Of course, listen to commands. That's why I say be present. You're there, you're focused, but you're listening also. A lot of shit can happen. You might have a bench command on one platform, while a ref on another platform is saying the bench command, and you need to be able to discern between the two. So you have to pay attention to that. And then you don't want to make excuses. So this kind of goes for being real with yourself is if you miss a lift or something happens with a judging call or whatever, and you say something and you're making excuses, you're thinking about it, you're thinking about it. And now that excuse becomes the reason why you can't hit the lift. That's not the way to do it. You know what I mean? You just got to be fuck it, I missed the lift, whatever. I wasn't strong enough, move on to the next thing. Don't linger. Again, this kind of goes back to keep moving. Don't linger on that mistake. I feel like there's one more thing that I was missing, but I can't remember it right now. But yeah, that's pretty much just some tips for you guys that are competing at nationals. Again, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. Enjoy it, have fun, take pictures, and just make it nationals has always been a meet historically that I've always looked forward to. It's always the biggest meet. I don't know how long that's going to be the case. There are so many moving parts. There's so many things changing. And the future can go a lot of different ways. Part of me is a little bit sad But especially for me in my position, I feel like it's time for me to move on to, you know, when I got into lifting, I always said that I want to help coach and bring out and compete at the highest levels of competition in the world. And I've done that. I've, you know, that's always what I've done. And usually IPF Worlds has always been the goal. There's something about competing on that world stage that's just different. And it's just like, it's the world, you know, I don't know how to describe it. So when we split, obviously, you know, it sucks, right? Because now, like, you have all this foundation that was built up, and then it's like, you know, the top half just got chopped off of it, you know? And we'll see what happens, you know, in the future with Powerlifting America, but I will always remember Raw Nationals for what it was. I will always remember the good times and how big it used to be and how fun it was, and I'm very thankful that I was able to experience it. I will not be there this year. For those of you that have been paying attention, the universe has other plans for me. But I'm doing everything I can to make the next, you know, 2024. I want that to be the best year, like, ever. And I want 2024, 2025 and beyond to just, you know, everything I'm doing this second half of 2023 is for that. There's a lot more that I would love to share with you guys, but, you know, good things take time. And, yeah, I'm just excited to continue building. And, you know, for those of you that have been listening this long, if you're competing at nationals, amen. Do it for your boy. Think about all the adventures we've been on, everything that we've done to get here. You know, you've listened to all my videos, right? You made it here. You're on the big stage. You know, have fun. And I look forward to the day when we can shake hands and I can say, you did great. And, you know, it was awesome to see you ball out. But anyway, thank you guys so much for making it this far. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.